And you don't have a problem with
Absolutely
killing
not.
a baby?
I have no problem if it's in the mother's uterus.
In every late-term abortion, you have to induce delivery. You have to induce labor and delivery. Why not just let these babies be delivered alive? New York is now saying we can provide the death penalty ultimately for children in the womb, even old enough to survive outside the womb. This is something that's sick coming from a state that makes the death penalty illegal for convicted murderers, but now lethal injections can be given to little children.
We have sunk to a new low in our society, and it is time for us to rectify what we have done. So if you are a person here who has had an abortion, I encourage you to seek healing, because abortion is not normal. Taking the life of an innocent human being that is your own flesh and blood and your own DNA, it's not normal.
To the fetus, it makes no difference whether it's born or not born. The baby has no input in this as far as I'm concerned.
But it's interesting that you use the word baby, because a lot of abortionists won't use that. They'll use the word fetus because they don't want to acknowledge that there's a life.
I think that it is a baby, and I use it with the patients.
And you don't have a problem with
Absolutely
killing
not.
a baby?
I have no problem if it's in the mother's uterus.
Every day.
I'm not doing any murders.
Those are lives.
Read the definition of what murder is. Murder involves killing a living person.
Is it not living?
No,
it's not growing.
Alive.
It's
not
alive.
growing. Yes, it's not a person.
And it's not a person.
It's not
so
a person.
It's an elephant then.
It's not
a living. You brought a baby out here.
That's not a baby. You see a
It
baby
would have
in there?
been.
You see a baby in there?
Those tissues grow.
You had to perform a certain number of abortions in that clinic every month?
That's right. So every abortion facility within Planned Parenthood has a monthly abortion quota that they must meet.
Why?
That's how they make their money.
When I graduated from medical school in 1976, I was dedicated pro-choice. My daughter Heather was hit by a car in front of our home and ultimately died. I showed up at the hospital just like I had over 100 times before, thinking of it as routine. And I started that abortion and just stared at what I had just pulled out of the uterus. For the first time in my career, after all those years and all those abortions, I really looked at that pile of body parts on the side of the table. And I didn't see her wonderful right to choose, and I didn't see what a great doctor I was helping her with her problem, and I didn't even see the $800 cash I just made in 15 minutes.
Some of these doctors want to do late-term abortions. I can't even picture what that would be like.
When I discovered the hospital was not only involved in late-term abortions, but sometimes babies survived. And if they survived, they were shelved to die in the soiled utility room. So one night a nursing coworker was taking a little abortion survivor, aborted at 21 weeks with Down syndrome, that's why he'd been aborted, to the soiled utility room to die, and I couldn't let him die alone, so I rocked him for the 45 minutes that he lived.
And that changed the course of your life.
It did. In the course of 45 minutes, it made me a pro-life activist for sure.
There's only one conservative site that can go toe-to-toe with the liberal media. We sit down with the biggest names and cover the biggest stories that most outlets won't even dare cover. Take back your news and subscribe to the biggest conservative site on the internet. Subscribe to The Daily Caller.